Okay, let's get started. Welcome everyone to Presentation Point's webinar series. Today we're going to be talking about event promotion using PowerPoint. I'm Garland Colson, the Marketing Director of Presentation Point. With me today is our founder, Kurt DuPont, who will help with technical questions. You jump in when I get over my head with some of the technical stuff, but also he's here to help in the chat area if there's questions that I can't get to right away. We are recording this. I see people are already asking about recording. So we are recording this and we will make it available on our YouTube channel, and we'll send a note out to everybody who registered to this event. And thank you so much for those of you who have introduced yourself in the chat session and told us about the event you want to promote. Kurt, did you want to say something before we start?
No, it's all yours, Garland. Go ahead.
Okay.
Get started.
Okay, so let's get started. During the event, as a housekeeping issue, Rob says, am I the only one without sound? I think other people can hear. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't see a mic with Rob, so we can't hear Rob, huh?
Yeah, the microphones are turned off for other people, but they should be able to hear us, and it looks like we're coming through. Everybody else is answering. So, and thanks for introducing yourself, Chris. Good to see somebody from the UK as well. So we really have a global audience. So I'm going to, with no further ado, I'm going to share my screen and get this started. Okay, can everybody see my PowerPoint? Okay, I need my chat to show up. There we are. Okay, people can say they can see it, so let's get started. So topic today is event promotion using PowerPoint. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about how to promote your event before it happens, how to promote your activities during the event, how to enhance your attendees' experience, and all of this is being done with PowerPoint and a few other tools that we provide. Do feel free, as I said, to ask questions throughout in chat. If I don't see them right away, Kurt will flag me on them, and we'll get your questions answered. So one of the first things is, before your event has even become much more than an idea in your head, you can come up with a PowerPoint pitch deck. This would be if you need to get your event approved by the management of your organization, or maybe you need an approval by a city council or an event venue or something like that. Maybe you need to get your event funded. Maybe you need to get funding for it. And so pitch decks are a great way to do this. And PowerPoint pitch decks are a lot more graphic than just sending somebody a Word document or an email about, I've got ideas for this great event. PowerPoint just excels at being able to do those kinds of presentations. And pitch decks have become the norm now for anybody looking for venture capital or funding for any kind of a business or those kinds of things. So it works great for events as well. If you are doing an internal event or you want to promote the event internally within your organization, you can turn your entire computer network into a broadcast system. And we use a tool called MessagePoint for this, which works with PowerPoint. So essentially, let's say you've got your organization has computers scattered around the office, or maybe even around multiple offices, different locations. Suddenly you can control what's being shown on everybody's screen. We have a couple of videos there, Kurt, if you can turn them off. So. Now, you can also create a downloadable marketing PowerPoint for other people to help promote. So essentially, it's a PowerPoint, but your other people can download it, media can download it, sponsors, your partners, your vendors can all download this and show it on their own digital signage or show it on their own computer networks to be able to promote that with everybody else. Trade shows. PresentationPoint does a number of trade shows, or at least we did before COVID. Hopefully we'll get back to doing trade shows soon. But if you have an upcoming event, you can use PowerPoint and screens at your trade show table to promote when your event's coming. You want to be going to trade shows that are going to reach your target audience. And so it's a great way to be able to show your upcoming events, show what's going on. If you have existing digital signage that you've got up, and if you don't have existing digital signage, why not? Talk to Kurt and I about getting your digital signage set up. We've got great software for that. But if you've already got your digital signage set up, it's a great place to promote this. So this is one of our clients who has digital signage in place in their school. And as you can see, they've got this rock band poster showing up on their digital signage. So you can go through and rotate through and show as many different upcoming events as you want. Obviously, they got somebody with some graphic talent within their school, because that's actually a nice poster. I'm impressed. So maybe we need to hire that person for our team to help with the graphics, because I'm not that great at the graphics quite often. So yeah, digital signage is a great way to be promoting this. Your own digital signage, or you can rent space on larger digital signs. Some people have digital advertising networks, digital billboards that go across an entire city. So you can advertise on those as well. Rebecca says, looks good. Yeah, and Mark says, cool. Okay, so. Now, you can also set up event countdowns, and event countdowns add some excitement, because you can see that countdown going on every day or every minute or even every second if you want to count down to the seconds. So it's a great way to cause some excitement around the event, because people know they have to register. They know they have to get into it. And I'm sure all of you today are really happy that I reminded you that there's only 210 days, 13 hours, 51 minutes, and 26 seconds of shopping time until Christmas. So, there's our thing for the day. We're helping reboot the economy by getting some excitement going around about having to shop for Christmas and other things. By the way, this countdown was created using our dynamic time software. You can also do this using DataPoint. So it's a very simple software, but it makes it really easy to create a countdown to any event. When people come into your event, give them a big welcome screen. This has been one that's been done by some of our resellers. It's done for a technology and information management global center that they have. And so this is showing the time zones around the world and gives them a nice big welcome screen. So a welcome screen just tells people, gets them excited. Like, what am I going to see here? What kinds of things are going on? So it's a great way to be able to welcome people when they first show up and get them engaged in what's happening in the place. It can show events, it can show them where to go, it can show ticket sales, and those kinds of things. So there's lots of different ways that you can make a welcome screen really help for people coming in. Now, one use that I love for digital signage is wayfinding. So, and for your events, this works great. So where do you go to buy tickets? So if you've got an event that has multiple bands or multiple theater performances or multiple speakers, well, where do I buy tickets for each of these? And which room or venue is my activity in? So where do I need to go? And where's the food, the snacks, the beverages? Because we all know at the events that the food is one of the main attractions. And most importantly for me, where are the washrooms or water closets or toilets or whatever you call them in your part of the world? Because people really need to know where to go. So this is very important that you show people where things are. And it drives me nuts at events where things are not clear. Like, it's not clear where you go. It's not clear where you find your speaker. It's not clear where you can get tickets. And so make sure that you're using your digital signage to make all of these areas clear. And of course, with the wayfinding, you can also do interactive floor plans. So you can have even touch screens where people can touch and blow up and see, different floor plans for the site as well. Or you can even do floor projections, which you can use for wayfinding as well, or even for sponsor recognition. And all of these can be done with PowerPoint, with using projectors or using screens and the like. So all of these are quite capable to do all within PowerPoint. And as I say, feel free to pop questions in the chat. If anybody's got questions, we're happy to help with these. Another great use of screens during your event, of PowerPoint during your event, is to show live event listings. So what's going on today? What's the event? Where do I go to find it? So this is the Wildlife Center, which is a museum, a wildlife center that's using our software. And so they've got a great little event calendar showing up here of what's happening today. I don't know about you, but I'd like to meet a live turtle. I think that's really fun. And looking through microscopes is fun. And a live owl is great. And I'm sure an otter encounter is going to be great as well. So, you can see how much excitement they're adding to people coming there and telling them when they can actually see these things live and when they can go to them. And this was created using DataPoint and PowerPoint. And essentially, it's just connecting an Excel spreadsheet, but showing the information in a much more graphically pleasant way in the PowerPoint on the big screens. And you can zoom in and show deeper information as well. So this is the same wildlife center, but they've got a showing of planet Adirondack. I don't know how to pronounce it, but so it's showing a screen of kids looking up in wonder, and so it shows deeper information. So you can show the listing that we just did. So the listing shows what the events are coming up and when they're happening, but then you can show a large ad for the screen for the individual programs that are coming up as well. And you can do this using playlist management systems or using PowerPoint. So Mark says, I'm experienced with PowerPoint, but a beginner on digital signage technology. So Mark, the good news with this is that's why we created the tools that we create, because a lot of digital signage systems that are set up use proprietary hardware and software. So they're usually boxes based on some sort of Android, and you have to learn to use a very clunky design system and playlist management system to do it. So what we've done is we make it so you can use PowerPoint to do all these designs, because most of us are very familiar with PowerPoint, and Microsoft's put so much money into making PowerPoint easy to use that there's no way that any company could easily match that unless they are willing to put in millions of dollars and tons of programmer time. So yes, that's why we use PowerPoint for all of our digital signage. So our add-ons just go into PowerPoint to give PowerPoint some extra functions that it wouldn't have before, like connecting to the live data and that kind of thing. And Mark says, yes, I love that you use PowerPoint. So great, yeah. And that's why we call this event promotion using PowerPoint. We want to show you all the things you can do around an event just using PowerPoint. You can also show ticket availability. Now, this is a neat one, because if you can show that some of the concerts are sold out, or there's only 25 tickets left for a concert or an event, then what happens is people go, oh, wow, these 2 concerts sold out. And if I want to get to that third one, I'd better go and buy my ticket now, or there's only 25 tickets left, so I need to buy my ticket now. And this is really just done, again, connecting PowerPoint to the different database, whatever database you're using. It can be an Excel spreadsheet, can be an Access database. There's tons of different database formats that we work with. And then when the tickets come to 0, then it will automatically, we can slap the sold out sign on the screen, or we can show the number of tickets left again to create that excitement. So Rebecca says, hey, Mark, same here. So obviously she's works with PowerPoint as well, but a beginner on the digital signage. And digital signage is becoming so powerful now, because anything you can put on a computer, you can show on a screen, right? And then the screens can be big, or we can work with multiple screens. And unlike a standard sign or a billboard, you can only have one message on a standard old sign or a standard billboard. But with using PowerPoint and digital signage, you can page through multiple ads, multiple screens, multiple things that you're going to be showing. So that's the thing to remember, is when we're showing all these screens, no one of these screens ever stays the same. So Wildlife Center will show the event for a bit, then they will page through and show specific ads, for deeper ads for the events. They might even show volunteer opportunities. They might even show employment opportunities. They might show the weather outside. So there's tons of different ways that you can use this, because it's more than one screen. It's more than one single ad. It's multiple ones. Now, in addition, you can manage queues. We have a tool called Counterpoint for this, but you can have people take a number if you want. You can connect Bluetooth buttons to be able to show who's next in the queue in the lineup. So you really want to make sure that people are given the information on large screens, so they know when it's their turn to come up, so that they know how long the wait's going to be. You can show how long, you know, the estimated wait's going to be, so that people aren't left just lined up and no idea what's going on, no idea what's happening. So again, it's the information. You're continually talking to your attendees, communicating with them through the screens that you're using, through the showing the events, showing the queue management, showing ticket availability, showing them where to go. So there's this, you're really enhancing the excitement and the experience that each of your attendees is having in this case. Show your numbers, show how many people are there. When you've got a really good turnout at an event, you know, boast about that, you know, put it out there. Like, you know, wow, we had 56,000 people in the stadium for this event. You know, quantity has its own quality. So show those numbers. If you're using any sort of a ticker as it goes through the door, or you're tracking tickets, it's really easy to show this number in real time on a large screen somewhere. So that makes it really simple to do. Digital art as well. So if you're in a museum or an art gallery, and maybe you've got a few pieces from a famous master, but you know, you're not going to get all of them. I mean, I don't think the Mona Lisa actually travels, for example, to show, but if you had a few lesser known works, you could show that, but then you could show additional digital artwork as well that's been done by the same person, or even just a way to enhance the event. If you're trying to create an event that's going to have a very romantic atmosphere, you can be showing that kind of artwork. If you want you know, an event where you're going to appeal to extreme snowboarders or extreme sports people, you can be showing art relating to that. So whatever, you know, whatever you're going to do, you can be showing related art. And you can even digitally paint an entire building. So with projectors, and I've seen this done a number of times, it's really cool to be able to create this kind of excitement, you know, for events in this case. Sponsorships are really important for most events that we're holding. Most events couldn't run unless there's going to be someone sponsoring it, unless there's going to be some sort of advertising and sponsors. So you want to get your sponsors involved early, and you can show them on the big screen. So here's an example of an arena that's showing the JBL, you know, who I think they do headphones and Bluetooth speakers and things like that. So it shows that they're sponsoring the event, and advertising on the screen. And so digital signage just makes it a really easy way to say thank you to your sponsors, to show their ads, to you know, to continually put that in front of people, so people understand the people who are sponsoring the event. And you can also track how many times that ad's been shown. So if you can say, well, during this event, your ad was shown, you know, 2,000 times, you can give that kind of information, that kind of reporting to your clients using our iPoint or SignageTube software. So when your speakers get up on stage, some speakers aren't very pretty. So we might need a background to make us look a little better. So you can use PowerPoint to project any background you want on that screen behind, and you can change it for each speaker. You could have show elements of things they've accomplished. You can show their branding, or you could just show for a different topic, you know, what it's going to be about. I went to a very interesting concert called Winter Harp, where of course the theme was, it was around Christmas. The theme was around winter, but they had lovely projections going on in the background of winter scenes and lighting and things like that. So you can create these backgrounds for your performers using PowerPoint. Oops, for some reason I skipped way through. Okay. Now, between speakers, there's a moment in time where there's kind of nothing really going on the stage. So one speaker's finished speaking and they're, tearing down, they're taking their laptop, taking their, stuff and exiting the screen. The next speaker's coming on and trying to get ready. So during this lag, people are in the audience and they have nothing to do. So show them something interesting on the screen. Show them the upcoming schedule. Show them live social feeds. Show them trivia questions. Show them fun facts. You've often seen this done in movie theaters where while you're waiting for the screen, for the main event, or you're waiting for the trailers, they're going to put some stuff up on the screen. So that keeps people engaged, keeps them in their seat, keeps them, interested. And again, you can provide them more information. You can tell them about events that are going on elsewhere in the venue so that they might see additional things they want to do. You can encourage them to visit the food vendors, so all of these kinds of things you can engage them further. Now, I don't know about if you guys know this, but some performers and some speakers have a bit of an ego. Not me, of course, and I'm sure not Kurt, but sometimes these people have egos, and what happens is they might go over their time. They think they're the most important person there, so they go over their time. And it was really annoying to me because one night I was at a concert and I wanted to hear this next act, but I had to leave soon. And the act before them went 20 minutes over their time. So I only got to watch a few minutes of the next act. So I was really miffed at that. So you can set up a countdown time clock that's going to count down a timer. And then once the timer's done, it's going to say set over, please clear the stage. And you can make this flash, you can make it red, you can do all these kinds of things. And that's easy to set up using our dynamic time software, in these cases, or DataPoint that we can set up to make sure these people know it's time for them to clear the stage. And I'm not saying all performers will go over, most of them are pretty good, but also even just having the timer set up to tell them how much time is left is useful for them because they know if they've got time for another set or how many more songs they can fit in. So it's useful to have that timer. I know as a speaker, I quite like a countdown timer so that I know, okay, I can leave enough time for questions at the end. Now, if your event has anything to do with sports or scoring or anything where you might want to track some numbers, here's a couple of interesting ideas for you. On the left two panels, you'll see this is where our software DataPoint has been used at a golf tournament to show the leaderboard. So this is showing the tee times, what tee they're on, and what their scores are. So the leaderboard is continually changing. It's connected probably to an Excel spreadsheet or another database. Excuse me. On the upper right-hand side is a dart tournament between universities. And on the dartboard, you'll see over here, we've got this showing the spreadsheet. I like this shot because it shows the actual spreadsheet they're using. And then it shows how much prettier the score is on the actual scoreboard. And then we've got a camera showing the darts hitting the board in real time. So another really good one there. Paul says, yeah, the BMW World in Munich. Yes, he correctly identified that one. So. Chris says, how to put a timer on the PowerPoint screen presentation that only I, the presenter, can see. Now, one option for that might be to have a second screen that you're running just the timer on, or even just run a timer perhaps on a smartphone or something. I've done that when I'm presenting and I only have a single screen. So that wouldn't necessarily need our technology, but you could use our technology if you're going to run it on a second screen. That would be probably the way I would do it, is you'd probably have to work with multiple screens in that case. So, but good question, Chris. So as you can see, this is a great way. I love how that dartboard turned out because people can see the darts hitting the screen in real time, and then the darts being updated right away. And so this is just a great way to be able to show this. Now, if you're doing giveaways, contests, raffles, and auctions. Okay, so It's very interesting that a lot of people, they go to these events for the swag. They go to win. They want to win, get their giveaways and stuff like that. So here's a couple of options here. So one on the left-hand side is Sotheby's auction, which is one of the largest auction houses in the world. And what they do is they use our DataPoint software connected to a Microsoft Access database. And they're showing bids in real time in 7 different currencies using PowerPoint and our tool. And so you know it's just got to work. If it's being done at a major auction, you know that the software has just got to work all the time. So that's a great example of how to use it for something like an auction or something of that nature. On the right-hand side is the Montreal Torah Center that has done a draw at their annual conference that they do. It's a fundraiser. And so this is their annual fundraiser. And then they do a draw where they show the winner, they show the number and who sold them the ticket. So that's another example, 2 examples of how you can generate excitement using this digital signage and using what's being shown up on the main screen. So Chris says, yeah, I do presentations on cruise ships where one screen is the only screen. Yeah, I would suggest you just set a countdown timer on a smartphone. Then Chris would be my workaround. I'm sorry, I can't sell you software for that, but I use countdowns on my phone all the time when I'm, it's part of the Pomodoro technique in time management. So you can set a 30-minute timer, or even a kitchen timer would work for that. You can also set your fundraising results in a graphic format. So this is an example of where I just got a blank image that had nothing on it, and then I put the red line over it, and that red box here can be connected to data in real time. So as you're doing your fundraising, you can have the thermometer going up in real time during that. And that's what's really cool is our DataPoint software. It doesn't just show numbers on a screen, it shows graphs, it shows charts, it can show meters, like a tachometer, and it can show, meters like this, like a thermometer as well. So another great way to be able to connect PowerPoint to data and get some excitement if you're trying to reach a goal for your donations or for your fundraising. You can show live audience poll results. Now, what I love in this world now that we have smartphones, everybody's got smartphones, is that it's very easy to get your audience involved in something. You could have them fill out a simple online poll, using a QR code or just using a website that they can go to or an app that they can download. They can fill this out and you can show the results in PowerPoint online on big screens. So this is a great way to get quick feedback, instant feedback. You've seen probably some of this in shows on TV where they might have singers sing and then the audience votes on who is the best singer. Well, you can do that live at your event. You can have live karaoke contest, live singing. We won't do one here today because I'm really bad at karaoke, much as I love it. And I don't know, maybe Kurt has a better voice. Maybe Kurt will serenade us later on. But you can be doing these live results. You can have people vote for the best band, vote for the best speaker, vote for the best presentation, give feedback on the facility, whatever kind of feedback you might want to get that way. You can gather live and show it real time on screens. You can also show live social media on your screens as well, which can be a great way to do this. So you could pick up, for example, all the posts about your event. You could have show live on a massive Twitter wall or something like that. So one example is you could be showing your Facebook likes in real time. You can show how many people like your pages. So here we're showing BMW versus Mercedes. So Mercedes is ahead on that one. And this would update in real time. You can connect it in real time to their Facebook pages and it will update this number as often or as fast as you want. And you can also show live Facebook posts. You can show them as well on the screen and have it continually scroll through on the Facebook posts. And as well, you can be showing Twitter feeds live on PowerPoint as well. So it's a great way to be able to connect your event to what's going on in the social media. What are people talking about? What are people saying about the event? And gathering the excitement. You can create a selfie wall. Selfies are becoming really popular. So you can create a branded selfie wall with something really fun or exciting in the background. And then you can get participants to upload those to their Instagram, Twitter accounts, whatever they're going to upload it to, Facebook accounts. And then you can show some of these pictures live at the event to create excitement as well. People love to see their own picture, their own face on the screen too. You notice during sporting events that when people get their faces shown on the Jumbotron, they're all excited and waving to their family at home that they were on the big screen. If you have celebrities coming to your event, you can highlight their arrival. You could be showing a video of it happening, arriving live, now arriving, so-and-so, Beyonce, whoever, Brad Pitt, whoever the celebrity is who's arriving, who's going to get people all excited about that kind of thing. You can highlight their participation, that they're going to be speaking at an event later on, or you can highlight that we're having these celebrities on a panel. So as I said, keep asking questions. We're happy to keep taking your questions in the chat area as well. One of the things I've seen at events that I really like is when they will stream to the lobby what's going on inside. So if you're waiting to get into the event, but it's being streamed out there, it adds the excitement if you can see the band that's already there. If you're going to be seeing the next band, but you can see at least part of the previous band's performance, that's exciting because it gets you connected to the event quicker, connected to that band quicker. And so it just shows people this is an event well worth being at, to be able to stream that. And you can create video walls using our dynamic wall software where you have multiple screens together, but they are ending up creating a single image as well. And don't forget about food. We talked before about, being able to have wayfinding to show you where the food is. So you can set up digital menu boards. You've seen these very commonly in fast food places. So they're just screens set up and you can connect those PowerPoint screens in real time to the data. So if you wanted to change the price on something, or if one of the foods is out of stock, maybe you've run out of cotton candy, sadly, then you can have the cotton candy show up with out of stock or sold out, can show up live in the screen if the database says that there's no more of that left. On the right hand side is Two Scoop Steve, who's used our software to be able to show all the flavors that are available today. And if a flavor is not available, it drops off. So if he has 0 in inventory, this screen will update automatically. And he used to have these stickers he used to put on a board that he would have to pull off and put on each time that he ran out of a flavor or got a new flavor in. So this saves him a ton of time. You can also time the breaks that are going on. So when there's a break between speakers or a break between bands or an intermission during a concert or during a theater performance, this is a free tool we have called Breakpoint, which will do a timer, and you can also use dynamic time or DataPoint for this, but it times how long till people come back to the break. The benefit of this is it gets people filing back into the room earlier. People know if they have enough time to go outside and make a phone call, or if they have enough time to go grab a beverage or go grab a hot dog or go grab cotton candy if it's not out of stock. So timing the breaks is really useful. And again, you can run advertising during the breaks as well. So Mark says, probably a stupid question, but can the connection be made to the screen via a Wi-Fi hotspot? And that's an excellent question, not a stupid question at all. So there's a number of ways to make connections, but a Wi-Fi hotspot could do it. Also, we'll talk a little bit about some of the hardware that you can use for this. But if you have an internet-enabled player, such as a PC stick that we'll talk about in a moment, it can connect live to the internet network that is there, and that way you can be updating all the screens using the internet from one central location. So that helps a lot. That you can also see what screens are running on our iPoint software, for example, or on Signage Tube. You can see which screens are working and which ones aren't and what each one's showing. So you're welcome, Mark. So, and that takes us to this part, equipment needed. So first off, you need, computer screens, televisions, or monitors to be able to show this. On the right-hand side is one being shown here, I think in an airport. Make sure if these are going to be shown outside that they are sealed against weather. So you'd want to be looking for, if you've got large screens outside, you want to be doing that. But this is quite possible, by the way. Times Square has screens all over the outside all the way. So there are screens made for the outdoors. And then you need some sort of a Windows-based player if you want to use PowerPoint in our software. This could be a PC stick, a tablet, or even an old computer, because it doesn't need to be that powerful to run this. The Intel Compute Stick that I've put a picture on the left-hand side there, you can see how small that is. It fits in the palm of your hand, and it just plugs into the HDMI port on the back of your TV screen or your computer monitor. So it's out of the way, and it's not really noticeable. And if the screens are up top, nobody can mess with it. And they would need a keyboard anyway to be able to connect with it. You connect with it through a Bluetooth keyboard if you want to change something in that specific one, but you can control all these from a central from a central place with iPoint or with Signage Tube. So these Intel Compute Sticks have built-in Wi-Fi. So it doesn't and by the way, there's other brands too. Asus makes these. So there's other brands. You don't have to just use Intel. That happened to be the picture that I grabbed. So they're already internet enabled. So all you need is an internet connection at your event of some sort to be able to do this. If you're doing a really remote event, you might be able to use something like Starlink, to be able to provide satellite internet to the area, then a Wi-Fi, to be able to connect from there. So. And if you have questions about the hardware or the software needed for this or the techniques we did on any of this, let us know. We can even show you an example of how we made a connection, after this session as well. Is your software compatible with Google Slide in order to use the Chrome stick? Kurt, do you want to jump in this one? Or?
Yes, I can take over. So the Intel Compute Stick is a perfect solution if you want to use iPoint. And with iPoint, you can run natively a PowerPoint on a television screen. So that's why you need a Windows-based computer where you can have live updates. When we look at the Signage Tube solution, then you can use an Android device, a small Android computer, just like that Intel Compute Stick, costs around $40, 40 euros. And then you can send a PowerPoint presentation as a movie to that stick. The the Chrome stick is not possible because that's a streaming device where you are streaming from that Chrome stick to the television. So you need to have an open Android stick like the My TV stick that you can use on the television. And some brands like the Sony Bravia and Philips, for those systems, you don't need to attach any computer. You can use or you can install the Signage Tube app directly on the television without using a computer. So that's an open television system.
And I was also able to get the Signage Tube working on the Amazon Fire Stick as well. So. So Polly's saying we want to put the PGM SDI 1080 P50 signal embedded in the Presentation Pro program. Can you read that, Kurt?
No, not really. It needs more explanation, I guess.
Yeah, it's highly technical.
Yeah, it's a bit technical here. So basically, what Signage Tube is doing is that you can upload a PowerPoint via the website to our cloud servers, and we can render the PowerPoint into an MP4 that you can play back on a Android-driven television.
Yeah, Paul, maybe contact us after, like with a support ticket, and show us the exact device. They're using some specialty audiovisual devices that we'll have to talk about what formats they can accept and that kind of thing, and we'll have to we'll have to work that out. But yeah, for the DataPoint, iPoint solution, you need a Windows-based player. For SignageTube, you can use an Android-based player. Have we got the iPhone version working yet?
No.
Okay, not yet. Okay,
Android
sorry. So Android-based or Windows-based for the SignageTube. Yeah. So.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Paul. Okay. So. So the software that we provide at PresentationPoint.com, so we create PowerPoint compatible event software. So we have a tool called DataPoint that allows you to connect your PowerPoint to real-time data, such as Excel spreadsheets, social media, Facebook, Twitter, things like that. It allows you to connect it to XML, to RSS feeds, live weather, live news. So that's the real-time updating connection we have there. We have a tool called iPoint, which allows you to manage your playlists, Windows-based playlists, and your DataPoint-enabled presentations. We have dynamic time, which allows you to create timers, Counterpoint, which allows you to manage queues, MessagePoint, which allows you to create your own broadcasting system within your organization with all of your computer network, and SignageTube allows you to manage playlists on the cloud. So these are some of the softwares that we have. So you can check them out after the presentation at presentationpoint.com. And Kurt and I are always happy to answer any questions or support that you might have on them. Our website as well has a section called Event Case Studies, where we have real life examples and pictures how our clients are using our software. And I love this area because our clients are much more creative than I could be. So they come up with the best stories and screen captures and things like that. And so it's like a how-to, you can use it for so many different things. So please do check that out and have a look at it. It's very inspiring to see what else could be done. And with that, I will mention I'm the person who collects those client stories and turns them into articles. So I know we have a few DataPoint users in the crowd here. So I'd love it if you could contact me, Garland at presentationpoint.com, and tell me your story about how you're using DataPoint or any of our other tools. And I can write the article from the information you provide and the pictures you provide and just a few simple questions. So I'm not going to make you write the article. I can certainly write the article, but I love to collect those stories. They're really important for us. And I'm gonna get, now's a great time, of course, for questions. So we are going to pause for questions, and I'm also going to give you a special offer in just a moment. But right now, it's a good time to ask questions about how we do any of this kind of stuff. What can be done, any other event ideas. Mark says, I'll be checking out your website to learn more. That's great. So yeah, now's the time. Put up your hand, ask questions in the chat, start typing. Now, we are also going to give you a limited offer. And this is a special offer for DataPoint if you want to try it out. We are going to give you a coupon code, and the coupon code is there, webinar 05 2021, which will give you a 50% ongoing discount. So DataPoint is a monthly subscription software, but you get it half off ongoing. So that's a huge savings for you if you're looking, if you want to pick up DataPoint, or if you're looking for more licenses. It's a great way to pick up additional licenses at a reduced rate. So, any questions? Oh, come on, put us on the spot, grill us. Mark says yes, hang on, okay. I know it takes a few minutes after we ask to type the question, especially if it's long or lengthy, so. And again, feel free to share, for those of you who weren't here in the beginning, if you haven't already shared what kind of event you're promoting, tell us what kind of event you want to promote and maybe any challenges you're facing, and we can brainstorm some ideas with you. Abdu asks, is there a coupon for SignageTube? What potential is there for digital signage resellers? So first off, I will mention that both SignageTube and And all PresentationPoint software, we do have affiliate and reseller programs for them. So you certainly sign up through there and you will work directly with myself on, I can help you with things such as, how to structure proposals, how to work out pricing for your clients and these kinds of things. Or even if something can be done, chances are we've got a case study or a client where it's already been done. Signage tube coupons, do we have any right now, Kurt?
Yes, we can duplicate the same code on the Signage Tube website so that you get the same discount there.
Okay, so after this session, we will be creating the same code that's shown there. That will also work on Signage Tube, but give us like maybe half hour, an hour after this to create that one. So we'll check that. So Mark says, how does one practice the technology without a large investment? I'm not sure of the cost. So first off, we have a free trial. I think it's how many days, Kurt?
It's 15 days.
Yeah, we have a 15-day free trial that you can download and so that you can work with it that way. The PresentationPoint software, I believe, is $29 US. For a single license. You can get a single license and practice it that way. That's not a huge expense. And if you use this coupon code, you're getting it for half that. So at say $14.50 a month, that's not going to be that expensive to try it out. So that way you can practice the technology without a large investment. If you're a reseller, contact me as well. There's some other things I can do for resellers as well to help you with the technology. We also have a ton of how-to videos and documentation on the website, and our support team, which is run by Kurt, is second to none. I will tell you, Kurt's really good about getting back to people very quickly and often with screenshots and videos and how-tos and things like that as well. So Rebecca says, interesting info. Thank you. Not promoting event. I'm a graphic designer who does PowerPoint for clients who do attend and put on events, looking for ideas to offer help to them. Excellent, Rebecca. We're so glad you came out. Do keep in mind, if you want to become a reseller, check that out on our website as well. If you think any of our software would help for any of your clients for promoting. And again, if you do use any of our software for your clients, we're always looking for the stories. So we're always looking for graphic designers to work with PowerPoint. So. Any other questions?
I can mention already that the coupon code is working on the Signage Tube as well.
So the coupon code is working on Signage Tube, which is at signagetube.com.
Yes.
And of course, PresentationPoint.com is our site for DataPoint and the other tools. So. Mark says I do lots of animation videos. Fun. So essentially, for those of you just curious about how does DataPoint even work, what happens is DataPoint is an add-on to PowerPoint. And so with DataPoint, you can bind any image or any text file to a source of data. So if I go to DataPoint, and I go to this, you get a whole new set of series of areas here, and I go list. It allows me to create connections, and the connections can be Facebook page, Facebook posts, Instagram, news, Numberish, which is another one of our products, Salesforce, weather, Google Analytics, Google Calendar, Google Sheets, Microsoft Access, Dynamics, Excel, Exchange, Outlook, SQL Server, SharePoint or Yammer, MySQL, PostGRE SQL, Oracle, ODBC, OLEDB, text files, XML, Twitter, JSON, OData, and in the case of industrial cases, the OPC connection as well. So essentially, you can connect to any of those data sources online. When I click on a text box, I can then bind that text box to any of these sources, And then I can choose from the list which source I've created that I want to bind it to. And then it shows up the data in preview there. So I can connect that again to an Excel spreadsheet or any of the other things. I can also connect images so it will show up. So if you want to show products or an RSS feed or something like that. So there's just tons of uses for, for DataPoint and our other software as well. So what is recommended as a monitor screen for the displays, Mark asks. So a good question. And there's hundreds of different monitor screens. I mean, any decent quality screen should work, but a couple of things to watch for. If it's outdoors, it needs to be weather sealed. If it's in an industrial area, like we have what some of our clients are using it on a manufacturing floor where there can get dust in it, again, you want a better sealed unit. And in some cases, you might void your warranty if you're running a screen 24/7. So you'd have to determine whether it's worthwhile upgrading to a screen that's built for that kind of thing. Other than that, most screens are going to allow an HDMI input. So you want to look at what am I connecting to it for a player. So if you're connecting something like the Intel Compute Stick or a PC stick, most of them go in the HDMI. So you'd want to be looking for ones that can handle that, which is most of them. Kurt, do you have any insights on displays?
You just have to check out if you want to use the cheaper consumer televisions or the more professional pro devices. No. A good tip is that if you want to use a television screen in portrait mode, you have to use the professional line of televisions because a consumer TV is made to use it horizontally, and it's for the heat. So that's why you have to use a professional television.
That's a really good point, Kurt. Yeah. So in the case where they're going to be displaying it the other way, like I think we had one of our clients was displaying it upright. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Yeah, they were displaying that. I have the Intel stick, never use it. Yeah, and as I said, it's called a PC stick, or an Intel Compute Stick is one brand, but there's multiple ones. So what they are, for those of you who aren't familiar, those sticks, they're a whole full-blown Windows-based computer packed into a little tiny format. So it's
there it was a few slides back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. And it fits in the palm of your hand and it plugs into the back. I'd also, they usually use power as well. So there's also a power cord as well, which can usually connect into the power. Like it's a USB plug that can connect into the power you're using for your TV as well. So yeah, nice and small, tiny, easy to pack. And it can hide behind your TV so people won't even know it's there. So is about 5 years old. Most of them have maybe about what, 2 gig of RAM, maybe 4. So they're not a high-end computer. Most of them have 4 now, I think. Yeah.
And it costs around $150 US, something like that. And it has Windows 10 included on the system.
So a great way where you need a portable little player and something you can throw PowerPoint on. It's just a great way to be able to display in your locations.
Okay.
And as I mentioned on the PresentationPoint website, if you go to the case studies area, there's a lot of really cool things in here. I'll just show you. Oh, Erwin has a question. Can a non-DataPoint licensed user edit static pages in a PowerPoint without breaking the other pages that are bound to DataPoint sources?
Yep. Maybe I can answer this. You can perfectly send out a DataPoint link presentation to anybody else, a colleague. He can do design work. He can make changes even to the font and the font size, etc. All the dynamic links that are inside the presentation regarding DataPoint are remaining in there, even if you don't have DataPoint installed on the system. So yes, definitely. And yes, you can ask about video.
Paul, go ahead, ask your question about VideoPoint. So just as an example here, this is done by one of our resellers, Design Agility. And what they did using PowerPoint is they created profiles for staff. Like they go into a company and they do profiles for each staff member on their technology needs. And so this is all done. These are all infographics and they're all connected live real time to Excel spreadsheets. And they've been able to create these amazing infographics using it that are all live updated in real time. So it's and it saved them hours. Like they used to spend like about 8 hours updating PowerPoints for each of the personas they were creating, and now it's done in the fraction of the time. Here's a teacher recognition program where they've gathered comments from students about teachers and then shown them anonymously on the screens. And so it worked out really well. And it had, you know, the impact on the teachers was priceless. They said the kids were really kind and mature in their thoughts. And they were able to post 171 heartfelt comments reminding their teachers of the positive impact they have on their students every day. So that's an example of something that's, you know, essentially the slides are created automatically from these spreadsheets. So. Did you get your question about DataPoint written, Paul, or do you want to ask it after? Here's another intriguing one I like to show people. This is an equipment monitoring dashboard created by one of our clients. And they pack a ton of information on a single screen here. So what they're showing is the equipment located on a certain floor. And the green ones show the equipment running fine, like it's working, it's in use. The red shows where a piece of equipment is down. Below that, they're showing meters of the output of each machine. And over here on the right-hand side, they got the equipment down details and the preventative maintenance. This is just all pulling data from databases and showing PowerPoint. And the emoticon changes the emotion based upon how well the equipment's all running. So Paul says, is it possible to create the PowerPoint show and do the live video put in the presentation for live shows like the software OBS?
Yes, that should be possible. You can have a slideshow running. You can put a webcam output on top of the slideshow and then use OBS software as a virtual cam. Should be working, Paul.
What resolution
is possible? You mean for the webcam or for the PowerPoint? I mean, the resolution is based on the, yeah, we just respect the resolution that the webcam is providing. So we can use the webcam resolution in full on the PowerPoint slideshow.
So this is another example I like to show. This is a manufacturing plant that's using PowerPoint to display in real time information happening on their production line. So they've connected PowerPoint to their CNC machines and their everything going through all their throughputs, and they've had a 25% increase in productivity because of this. So.
Paul, I'm going to have a look at the video file afterwards, but I should be fine. Should be fine with that resolution.
Okay, so I think that brings us to the end of our presentation. I want to thank everybody who who attended, and once again, remember the coupon code that we have on the screen there for everybody, that will work for both SignageTube now and for DataPoint. So a 50% ongoing discount, and you can you can enter that. Does that work for one license or multiple licenses, Kurt?
Multiple licenses.
Okay, so yeah, if you're thinking of picking up 5 licenses or 10 licenses, go for it. Now's the time. So you can, you'll be able to do that. So thanks everybody for coming. And we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. And as I said, as always, feel free to contact either Kurt or myself with any questions. Visit our website, put a question at the live chat or the support area, and we're happy to get back to you quickly. So